Good morning. This is Mrs. Jones again, and today we're going to continue learning about the scientific method and parts that go along with the scientific method. Today we're specifically going to focus on data and models. But first, when we talk about data, when we record data from an experiment, we do it in two different ways. So today we're going to learn about two different types of data. The first type is qualitative data. Qualitative data is describing an item using your senses. And if we remember back to Monday, we remember that our senses are a sense of smell, touch, seeing, taste, and hear. The next type of data that we're going to learn about is quantitative data. Quantitative data is data that is describing an item using numbers. So how many, how much does something weigh, or when we measure it, how long is something? Look at this picture right here. You see a picture of a cute little puppy. We're going to come up with some data that uses this picture. We're going to come up with data that is qualitative and data that is quantitative. Our qualitative data, just by looking at this picture, we could say the puppy has long ears. We use our sense of sight to see that the puppy does have long ears. Now, when we're looking at this picture of the dog and we're coming up with quantitative data, remember we have to have data that includes a number. So our example might be, the puppy's ears are 30 centimeters long. So we're coming up with data that has a number. And notice in that example, our number is 30 centimeters long. So qualitative deals with senses, quantitative data deals with numbers. So anytime you see a number in your data, you know you're using quantitative data. If you don't see a number but it's using the 5 senses, it's qualitative data. The next thing we're going to talk about is models in science. When you take the science SOL next year in 5th grade, you're going to see some models on there. So we're going to take a look at a few examples of models that you might see when we're talking about science. Scientists use models to help explain the natural world. Now, what you see in this picture is a picture of an animal cell. In this picture, it's not an actual animal cell, but it's a model, it's a recreation of one to kind of help people learn more about it. You might create a model to show the phases of the moon. In this picture, you see the Earth and you see all of the moon around the Earth. Now, is this actually what you would go out and see? Does the Earth have this many moons? No, it doesn't. But this is a model that will show you what the phases of the moon are in relation to the Earth. You might create a model to show how fossils are formed. If you look very closely into this picture, you're going to see a fossil of a certain insect. Can you see the insect? It's a butterfly. You might create a model to show how a canyon is formed. Is this what a canyon looks like in real life? No, we don't have cartoon trees out there. However, they created this model just so you can learn without actually being there. You can see a recreation of it. Models have benefits and limitations. The benefits of using models are that they help us understand what we can't always see or what we can't always visit and go to. However, the limitations are things that are not the same in real life. If we go back to this picture of the canyon, we know that that's not exactly what it's going to look like in real life. This picture of this fossil, that's not exactly what it's going to look like in real life. Phases of the moon, that's not exactly what it looks like. This animal cell, not exactly what it looks like. If you put an animal cell under a microscope, you're going to see it up close and personal. However, you're not going to have all of the colors and everything that you see in this model. A model is created so that we can easily learn about what we're going to go in depth and talk about later.